Hello, IELTS Energy listeners. We have a very special guest today, Neil Pearson from none other than IDP. Everyone listening knows what IDP is. Neil, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for IDP?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Thanks everyone. Thanks for listening. Yeah, I'm Neil. I'm Chief Digital Officer here at IDP. Working for about 6 years for IDP, but previous to that, really working in education and technology for about 20 years now. So
Okay.
I don't think they called it EdTech in those days when I started, but no, it's been a great journey. Really enjoyed it. Probably working more on sort of student placement and student recruitment over
Okay.
those 20 years. But so I'm relatively new to the art space, maybe 2 or 3 years there. So don't test me too much. Um, but
So
yeah,
I shouldn't ask you about like what the examiner has to do in writing task two,
definitely.
for example.
Definitely don't go to that space. But no, I mean, essentially, my role is trying to make technology to make things easier for students or test takers, but
Okay.
also sometimes for our internal teams to, help them to give great customer experiences
Yeah.
in different things that they do. So, for example, in student placement, working a lot on an IDP Live app and fast lane services to try and transform the way that students access studying abroad.
Sure.
But in IELTS last year, we released a new app called IELTS by IDP, which I think is what we're going to chat a bit about today.
Yes, that is why we are here today, guys. I think over, recent events, have driven more students online, have forced standardized tests like IELTS to look at assessment and reaching students in different ways.
Mm,
And our listeners are hungry for more material to prepare for IELTS, right?
mm,
Especially stuff that they can access at any time from anywhere, just like this podcast, right? Well, you
mm.
can carry us in your pocket, everyone, and listen to us wherever you go. And that,
Mm.
I'm assuming, is the main motivation for the new IDP app, right? To allow students this freedom to prepare for the test on the go wherever they are.
Definitely, there's definitely a bit of that. I'm on the tram. In Melbourne, I'm on a tram. You're on a metro. In the UK, you're on the tube. But yeah, wherever you are, you can dip into some things on some of these services like this podcast, but also um, IELTS by IDP. But I guess our starting point, because we recognize there's some amazing support and a great ecosystem of support out there for IELTS test takers, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's hard to understand where to begin. So, we just came in really, it was feeling as IDP as one of the partners of the test. We just wanted to empower test takers to feel confident about where to go and feel
Yeah.
empowered through that experience. So for us,
Yeah.
as well as prep, which is really significant, obviously part of the experience, but as well as that, just the ability to be able to book your test, to be able to get your results through the app as
Yeah.
well, and do that. So we sort of came in with that feeling of, I guess the working title for it was like, "We've got your back."
Oh, I
We
love it. I
yeah,
w-
just that
I wish
because
that were the title. I want our students to think of that, guys. Um, that is a fantastic idiom I want to explain quickly. um right, to say like I have your back, because that would be great, guys, to use in speaking part one, to say like I support you, right? And that's what this app was made for. And I love the fact, these two things that you just mentioned, I want to highlight about what students can do with this app. The fact that this is all in one place, that you can book your test and get your results just all in this app, right? Because shoot, I mean, to require test takers to have the right website, to find the right test center, to do all of this in different places, not sure where to go, what to do. Guys, this app will guide you step by step, make it super easy so you can find the right test center, the right date for you. You can add it to your calendar, right? You're on your phone already. And then you can get your results. So, is that one of the differentiators of this app, that students maybe can get their results more quickly?
Certainly more conveniently because
Yeah.
you'll get a push notification as soon as they arrive, and you can
Oh, that's
access them
awesome.
right from the app as they come through. So yeah, it was really and again I use loads of idioms, that Swiss Army knife, where it just really is all of those things in one place. And certainly when we were looking at what should we be doing that's different. As
Hmm.
IDP, there are things that we can do like that. So
Sure.
not just preparing, but booking and getting your results. But
Yeah.
also the ability to get the right customer support if you have any issues, so to access your test center easily, or customer
Oh, awesome.
services, depending on what you've booked, that's there. And then I guess because of the scale of what we do, we're able to put promotions and offers through the app that you perhaps won't find elsewhere,
Okay.
and leverage that test taker army, if you like, of tips and advice from people all around the world who have guidance on what they've done and how they've learned and how they've managed
Okay.
to achieve what they've achieved.
Okay, so this is a feature of the app that there is a community on there of test takers that can talk to each other and share advice.
Yeah, at the moment it's not.
Okay.
It's test takers bringing advice, and there's videos from test takers all over the world. But
Oh,
certainly
that's awesome.
we want to extend that and build on some of those experiences. So yeah, test takers hopefully in the future be able to ask our test taker community questions and get support
Yeah.
from them as well. I mean, I
Like
think that's one of those things of taking some of those moments a little bit further. We felt like that, for example, with results as well. It's not just the ability to get the results really conveniently,
right.
but we wanted. There's so much pride and joy in doing IELTS. We recognise, it is a gold standard test. It's not always easy to achieve the score that you want to achieve,
No.
but there's so much pride when our test takers do achieve that result, and making it really easy for our test takers to be able to share that with their family and their friends. So as you get your results, you can share them on
Oh, I love
LinkedIn,
that.
you can share them on Facebook, the scores that you've
That's
achieved. Yeah,
fantastic.
no, it's really, we're
That's
seeing
really
so
cool.
much love and joy around the world.
Yeah.
People really opening doors for them and getting to where they want to go or who they want to be. So it's been fantastic to see that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the most satisfying things about working in IELTS is that this is a key to candidates' futures. If they want to study abroad, they want to get a master's, they want to move to another country with their family, they want to improve their lives in hugely significant ways, and the one door or
Mm,
gate between them and this future life is IELTS. So it is such a heavy thing to prepare for sure.
mm,
And I love that the app can send you push notifications when your results arrive because I know students are just
mm.
sitting anxiously, biting their nails, waiting, like, when is the result coming out? So I love that feature. All right, so next, let's get into how this app actually helps them prepare for the test. What sort of resources or study materials are included on the app?
Well, first off, there's heaps of helpful content and advice about speaking and writing, as you would expect, and all the four skills,
Hmm.
general and academic, all the way through band score calculators to test day checklists. So it's all
Oh,
that kind of things
fantastic.
that you would expect really to walk you through, from beginning to end
Yeah,
of the test. And as I said, some of that, when we were speaking to test takers, some of them, everyone learns in different ways, right? As is,
yeah,
some people love, being on the train, one hand holding them up, the other hand looking at the mobile phone and being able to, spend 20 minutes just catching up on something like
sure.
idioms that we were
Yeah.
just talking about now. So it's really nice animations of idioms and test sort of gamification. So you have
Oh,
to
that's
see the
rad.
visuals and then sort of guess what it means when someone's got your back, for example.
Oh, that's really
Um,
cool.
that's
So
cool.
there's the vocabulary lessons on there that are interactive and engaging. And then there's also test practice itself and some model answers from what I read.
Yeah, so we also recognize that, as you said earlier, there's absolute need for people to feel that they can log on at any point in time, just check how they're doing, check where they are, really get an understanding of, am I progressing? What do I
Yeah.
look like? So there's some formal learning on the formal testing on the app as well. So there's obviously IELTS progress check, as you'd expect,
Okay.
that you can access. But also we partnered specifically for the app with Macquarie for the Macquarie preparation course. I'm not sure if
Okay.
you've heard of that, but
Hmm.
that's developed by Macquarie University. Over 600,000 students are already accessing this across
Oh my gosh.
140 countries. But it's got
Oh, that's amazing.
expert video tutorials, practice questions and model answers, interactive quizzes, the kind of real sort of formal, how am I doing? Let me check
Yeah.
in. And if you go through the app, it's free for 14 days across all 4 skills. So
Okay.
that's not available anywhere else. So certainly if you're thinking of really just accessing and getting a really good steer of how you're doing, recommend you avail yourself of that offer.
Yeah, guys. So it is available for iOS and Android all over the world. So you're maybe on your phone or right now, go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and just search IELTS IDP. Is that what students should
Yeah,
search for?
yeah.
Okay. Um, so just search IELTS IDP and the app will come up, guys. And like Neil said, there's a 14-day free trial. So you really have nothing to lose. Go in there, see what all the resources are. What I really love about this is it really can hold your hand from start to finish, because there are billions, maybe. I'm going to say billions
Mm,
of different resources out there, and you don't know who to trust when it comes to IELTS. You could be reading some forum with advice from someone that got a 5 on IELTS and can't even
mm,
tell you how to pass the test. You could be reading something or taking a practice quiz created by someone who doesn't know the test, right? Who was never an IELTS examiner, is not involved in IELTS at all. They're just like, I'm going to make some money. This is an English test. I can do this. Guys, no. You know from listening to this podcast how in depth the IELTS exam is.
mm.
And if you're going to prepare for the test, you need to choose the best resources. And who better to trust than IDP itself? You guys, they literally make this exam. So I really encourage you guys to check it out. 14-day free trial. So just search IDP IELTS wherever you get your apps. All right, Neil, is there anything else you want to share with our listeners about this app, or what makes it unique? Why do they need this right now?
Well, first off, just to clarify, it's absolutely free, the app itself. But
Oh,
some
okay.
some of the preparation tests that you might want to access, like the Macquarie test, is a 14-day free trial. But
Oh, got it.
all the
Okay.
content that we offer from IDP is absolutely free.
Oh,
I
fantastic.
I think just finally, we're on a journey. We'd love to hear from all of you and hear any feedback as you go through it, whether you're a test taker or someone helps prepare people for IELTS. We also recognise that there's a great ecosystem, and we want to build on our ecosystem of test takers, like I talked about, a community over time, but also ecosystem of practitioners and learners. So if we recognise we're a starting point, not the end point. So amazing content, for example, on the webinars produced by All Ears. That's the kind of people that we want to work with and build into this. So we really build an ecosystem of really great advice as a starting point. Like you say, Jessica, it's hard always to know where to begin.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure we're signposting the really good authoritative content out there, like yourselves, which is just amazing to support test takers. So
Awesome.
more in that space. Would love to hear all your feedback, and good luck, everyone.
All right, fantastic. All right, awesome. Thank you, Neil, so much for spending some time to talk to our learners about your app. I'm very excited about this new resource for our listeners and all the IELTS candidates around the world. So definitely, guys, check out that app. Like Neil said, it's free. Go check it out. So just search IELTS IDP wherever you get your apps, guys. All right, awesome, Neil. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you all.
All right, have a good day.